Back in 1967, an engineer at General Motors signed off on a decision that seemed completely obvious at the time. Kill the engine, sell the tooling, move on. Nobody in that room imagined that decision would come back to haunt the entire company just a few years later. This engine, once thrown away like scrap metal, would eventually be bought back, rebuilt, and turned into one of the most important engines General Motors ever produced, one that outlasted nearly every other engine the company ever built. Car companies rarely admit their mistakes, but this one, GM, couldn't hide from. Today, we're telling you exactly how this happened, and why this engine's comeback still amazes people decades later. If you love uncovering real forgotten stories behind classic American engines like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel right now, so you never miss another story like it. To understand this incredible story, we need to travel back to the early 1960s, when Buick, one of General Motors' respected divisions, developed a brand new V6 engine. This engine was smaller and lighter than the big V8 engines America was falling in love with at the time, and it was specifically designed to power smaller, more compact cars that Buick was beginning to introduce to the market. This V6 engine had an unusual design feature. Unlike most engines, which fire their cylinders at evenly spaced intervals for smooth operation, this particular V6 fired unevenly, a design engineers call an odd fire configuration. This uneven firing pattern gave the engine a distinctive, rough sound and feel, something that immediately set it apart from other engines on the market, and not always in a good way. At first, this engine actually found real success, powering several Buick, Oldsmobile, and Pontiac compact models throughout the early and mid-1960s. But as American car buyers shifted their attention increasingly toward larger, more powerful V8 engines, interest in this smaller V6 began fading quickly. By 1967, General Motors made a decision that, at the time, seemed completely reasonable. They discontinued the engine entirely, viewing it as outdated and no longer worth producing. Rather than simply scrapping the engine's tooling and design completely, General Motors decided to sell the rights and manufacturing equipment for this V6 engine to another company entirely, a smaller automaker known as Kaiser Jeep. At the time, this seemed like a logical business decision. General Motors was moving on, fully focused on big V8 engines, and saw little future value in continuing to produce this smaller, unusual-sounding engine. Kaiser Jeep happily took over production of this engine, using it to power several of their own vehicles throughout the following years. Meanwhile, at General Motors, this engine was essentially forgotten, considered a relic from an earlier era that no longer fit into the company's future plans. For several years, it seemed like this engine's story had reached its final chapter, quietly living on under a different company's ownership, far away from the company that had originally created it. Then, in the early 1970s, something happened that nobody at General Motors had fully anticipated. A serious oil crisis struck the United States, causing gasoline prices to skyrocket and creating long lines at gas stations across the entire country. Almost overnight, American car buyers who had once loved big, powerful, fuel-hungry V8 engines suddenly wanted something completely different. Smaller, lighter, more fuel-efficient engines that wouldn't drain their wallets every time they needed to fill up their gas tank. General Motors found itself in a difficult position. Their lineup was filled with large V8 engines, exactly the type of engines American buyers were now desperately trying to avoid. They urgently needed a smaller, more fuel-efficient engine option, and they needed one quickly, without spending years and enormous amounts of money developing something entirely new from scratch. It was during this urgent search that General Motors executives remembered the very engine they had discarded just a few years earlier. That same V6 engine, once considered outdated and unwanted, suddenly looked like exactly the solution they desperately needed. In a truly remarkable turn of events, General Motors approached Kaiser Jeep, now part of American Motors Corporation, and negotiated to buy back the very engine design and manufacturing tooling they had sold away just a few years before. This meant General Motors was essentially forced to repurchase their own engineering work, an unusual and somewhat humbling situation for any major company to find itself in. Once General Motors reacquired this engine, Buick engineers got straight to work improving and refining it. They increased the engine's displacement, adjusted its design, and eventually resolved the uneven firing issue that had bothered so many drivers years earlier, creating what became known as an even fire version of the engine by the late 1970s. This updated engine, now displacing 231 cubic inches, or roughly 3.8 liters, was reintroduced into General Motors vehicles, ready to fill the growing demand for smaller, more efficient engines. What happened next genuinely surprised everyone, including General Motors themselves. This once abandoned V6 engine didn't just survive, it absolutely thrived, becoming one of the most widely used and longest-running engines in General Motors' entire history. Throughout the following decades, this engine, eventually known simply as the Buick 3.8-liter V6, found its way into an enormous range of vehicles across nearly every General Motors brand, including Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and Chevrolet. It powered everyday family sedans, comfortable luxury cruisers, and even in one of its most surprising and celebrated forms, powered the legendary Buick Grand National and GNX, turbocharged performance cars from the 1980s that shocked the automotive world by outperforming many far more expensive and powerful sports cars of that era. This same basic engine architecture continued evolving and improving for decades, eventually becoming known as the famous 3800 series engine, which remained in continuous production in various updated forms all the way into the early 2000s, an almost unheard-of production lifespan for any single engine design in automotive history. The reason this engine survived for so many decades, long after countless other engines had come and gone, came down to its remarkable combination of reliability, simplicity, and adaptability. Mechanics and engineers alike came to genuinely respect this engine for its ability to run reliably for hundreds of thousands of miles with relatively minimal maintenance, a reputation that grew stronger with each passing decade. Its relatively simple, well-proven design also made it easy and inexpensive for General Motors to continue producing and slightly updating over the years, rather than investing enormous resources into constantly developing brand-new engine designs. This combination of proven reliability and cost-effective production made this engine an incredibly valuable asset for General Motors, especially once fuel efficiency became a permanent priority for American car buyers, rather than just a temporary reaction to a single oil crisis. This remarkable story teaches us something valuable that extends far beyond just engines and automotive history. It reminds us that decisions made in one moment, even decisions that seem completely reasonable and logical at the time, don't always account for how circumstances might dramatically change in the future. General Motors genuinely believed this engine had no future back in 1967, and based on everything happening in the automotive world at that exact moment, that decision made perfect sense. Yet just a few years later, changing circumstances completely transformed this seemingly obsolete engine into one of the most valuable and important engines the company would ever produce, one that would go on to outlive countless other engines that had once seemed far more promising and exciting. It reminds us that true value isn't always immediately obvious, Village, and sometimes what looks like a mistake or a dead end can actually become an incredibly important asset, given the right circumstances and enough time to prove itself. We hope you enjoyed uncovering this incredible true comeback story today. If you want us to bring you more amazing true stories about forgotten and revived pieces of American automotive history, let us know in the comments which one you would like us to cover next. See you in the next video, and take care until then.